Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is June 17, 2019. Here to give you all the news according to the charts. Because the market doesn't follow fundamental analysis, it doesn't care about companies' assets, liabilities, their earnings, production, GDP, business performance, whatever the case may be. The only thing that matters is what you and I are willing to pay for a given asset, period. We're going to give you all an update on the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, as well as the Dow. I want to thank you all for coming to our channel today. If you are new to our channel, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you like and share these videos, because what we're doing, we're showing you that you're able to predict price moves without causing you any confusion. As you can tell by our chart, is relatively clean, nothing too confusing on our price chart. Be careful of those who have too many things on their price charts trying to determine simply where prices are likely to go. There's only three ways a price can go or a market can move, and that's higher, lower, or sideways. That's it. Okay, so now the last time we did our video for the NASDAQ S&P 500 was probably about a week or so ago, and we anticipated the market to continue to move to the upside in price. You can see right here on the NASDAQ that we actually have came and hit our price objective, of which the market got some weakness to come through. Okay, so that's why we concluded this last week moving and closing well off the highs. But nevertheless, this continues to show you that we were on course as to determining how high this market can go. Would have been a 2.2% profit in the market for the NASDAQ. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Now, this upcoming work week is going to be one of stagnation. I'm not really expecting a lot of volatility until Wednesday and thereafter. That's when the Fed is going to have their Fed meeting and let the market know whether or not they're going to increase interest rates or are they going to cut interest rates. Okay, if the market goes ahead and cuts interest rates as to what many people already expect, we might see another quick movement higher in price and then come back into a consolidational range. If the Fed increases the interest rate, then we may have another massive move to the downside. Okay, so now I'm just literally expecting the market in the NASDAQ to hold consolidational trading right here around, I would say 7,700 points, all the way back down to the low that came in on the week of the 3rd of June. Okay, so that is massive space in between that. Looking here on the daily time frame for the NASDAQ, we can still tell that the market at best is maintaining a healthy consolidational range. We're not getting too much indications of weakness to come through this particular market. As a matter of fact, it is still showing some indication that it wants to continue its movement to the upside, especially if we conclude today's trading day closing towards the high of the daily bar. Okay, so now the only expectation, definitely want to wait and see how the market trades today, tomorrow, going on into Wednesday, to see if the strength is going to be able to be maintained. Okay, right now the market is definitely anticipating the Fed cutting interest rates, which is one of the main reasons why we are noticing the strength being maintained in this space. Okay, so now in order for the NASDAQ to continue to see higher prices in the market, it cannot fall below I would say around 73.50. Okay, so we're going to hold that there. We're still getting some indications of strength coming to the market, and we would TP the market at 7,600 points, which would be about almost 1% movement to the upside in price. We're going to keep this here. Well, actually, I'm going to bring it right around this particular price level. Okay, about another 2% move to the upside in the market is what I'm kind of seeing right now. But if we get any type of negative news into the market, this definitely would be blown out the water, and the NASDAQ would definitely see a movement lower in price. Okay, so right now we are still seeing the market trying to continue its move to the upside. When we look at it on weekly time frame, we did get some stockpile coming into the market, so we can at the conclusion of this week actually move to the downside. All right, so this is just like a short-term play in the NASDAQ. All right, So now let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500 real quick. So now here we are looking at the S&P 500 on the weekly time frame. Again, we saw this massive weekly bar on the week of the 3rd of June, and the market continues to show us that the inclination of higher prices is still there. We are coming across prior resistance area, so that's why we saw some stockpile come into the market for the S&P 500 last week. If we were to take profit last week at the high, the market had been about 1.25% move to the upside, and we're still getting some indications that the market is really not too worried about what the Fed is going to do, especially if we conclude today's trading day closing above this previous close. It tells me that the highs are not in just yet in the market, and that the expectation would be for the S&P 500 to continue to move higher as well. So with that being stated, I'm going to keep our price target on going into the market for the S&P 500. I can definitely tell that the market is trying to make all-time highs once again, and it's definitely something that can be on the horizon, especially after the announcement of the Fed increasing or decreasing the interest rate. Okay, so now I'm going to increase our price target back up there to that 0.82% level, but I would TP it again where we had it originally around 29.20. okay, well 29.18. I would TP it there, so keep that there. I'm still seeing some indications that the market is trying to continue to move to the upside in price. We extended out a little bit further, a little bit higher, but again, if we hit that 29.18, I would TP that market on the S&P 500. All right. Now, the last one that we're going to look at is going to be the Dow. So now here we are looking at the Dow. The market literally hasn't been trading as euphoric as the NASDAQ and then the S&P 500, but nevertheless, it is still holding consolidation well in the space for the Dow. Quick look here on the weekly time frame for the Dow. The market pretty much resembles the same thing that occurred in S&P 500. We saw this massive push-to-go bar that came in on the 3rd week of June, and the market continues to show us some euphoric movement higher. Now, the thing that I'm noticing for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow is that our last weekly concluded price bar is showing a decent amount of volume on a very small spread. Considering what the Fed is going to do on Wednesday, it's going to make a massive increase to the upside or to the downside, because a lot of volume has came in on a very small spread. When you look at it on the daily time frame for the Dow, we're still seeing indications that the market is hovering and holding consolidational trading. I expect that to happen until after the Fed releases their announcement, and then we'll see the ensuing volatility come into the space. Right now, the market definitely is trying to push these indexes higher in price, and that's the moment that we're going to keep until we see a change occur in these 3 indexes. Okay, so even with the Dow, we're still seeing the expectation that the market wants to continue to move higher. We have it at about 26,500 points, which would be about 1.63% movement to the upside. Right now, we're sitting at about almost 0.5% movement in profit for the Dow. Definitely seems as if the market is going to try to make all-time highs in the Dow as well. So we definitely want to keep that in mind going forward, especially if the Fed plays to the tune of the market. All right. So overall, we're still seeing the expectation of some higher prices to go through. Mostly this week is going to be consolidational trading until we get a definitive answer as to what Jerome Powell is going to do regarding raising or cutting interest rates. Okay, so until that time, understand that the market is really not going to move. But currently, from what we went through on the weekly chart, we are seeing some slight indication that the market is pausing and that it might actually move to the downside. But the daily time frame, we're getting indications that the market is trying to continue to move higher in price. you definitely need to look at what occurs on the smaller time frame, because it gives you a head up as to what's going to happen in the long term. All right. So that's our expectation. This is what we're expecting the market to do in the NASDAQ, in the S&P 500, as well as the Dow. We're still expecting these three indexes to continue to move to the upside. And you're getting that right now into the market. Okay. Even when I look at on the 4-hour time frame, I don't see a lot of indications that the market is going to continue its movement lower. Not yet, at least. So that's our expectation. We do have our ideas on the price chart, and we want to see how the market plays out, because we're giving you all the news according to the charts. Make sure you check us out at our website, HueFinancial.com, in order to get more of this fantastic and easy to see and understand price analysis. Make sure y'all maintain profitability, and I will talk to you all later.